Now the dangerous Nelson Cruz.
That one is hit hard to left. That ball's back, and there's your grand slam. Nelson Cruz connects that triple. Love it. His fourth to the game, and suddenly it's a 2-point contest. In Carl Anthony Township, you said he needs to start exerting his will. Rob moving in. Back to Johnson. He scores! First in the NHL for Luke Johnson.
Yeah. We're back. Oh man, the audience is extra special tonight. Look at you guys. Look how. Give an applause for yourself. Yeah. Go ahead. Applaud for yourself. Man, I love this audience tonight.
Dude, this audience claps.
Yeah, there
exactly
you go. There you go.
Like the audience last week.
No, they're not. It's totally different. This is the best audience that we've ever had. I can already tell. I know we just started the episode, but you guys. Thank you.
Best episode ever already.
This is already the best episode ever.
There you go.
I tweeted that it's going to be the special extra episode because Expert Andy is here in action.
Yeah.
Welcome back to me.
How's it going, Expert Andy? This is FuzzJockRadio. Hold on to that answer to that question because we'll get around to you, bud. This is FuzzJockRadio. We do go live every Monday at 10:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is now. We did not start late this week. I promise you.
Not at all.
The audience that's listening after the
Your watch might be
recording.
off. I don't know.
My watch is never off, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
No,
I'm the host.
Their watch.
Oh,
Their watch.
Well, listen to this though. If you're listening to the recording, the podcast the next day, we're never late.
Yeah.
We're never late in podcast land, right? Is that correct? I think that's correct.
What time it is.
My name is Fuzzy. I'm one of the hosts, which we call Hess because there's no hosts in this show, which is weird. I know, but there's 4 of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is 4 of us. I counted 5 for a second there, but that was me counting my own screen in the Discord here.
Yeah.
There are 4 of us.
You're here twice.
If I
Oh,
was
me
here,
and these 4 people, yes.
Whoa.
there is only 4 of us here.
I'm here twice.
Yeah.
You're here.
That's some fuzzy math.
Wait,
Now there's 6 people.
I am confused. Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
This is going to be an extra
People
special
from the 6th
episode.
episode.
Yeah, this is the best episode ever, guys. There's 6 of us here. And the audience is with us. I'm glad.
love us.
I'm glad that they got that joke because I didn't. My name is Fuzzy. We have 3 other hosts here. One in LA. His name is
C-dubs.
We have one up in the Twin Cities area.
Andover. Expert Andy from Andover.
Expert Andy Andover. And
Andover's own expert.
we have a host from Minnesota. That's not me.
I'm Minnesota J-Mez.
I am from Minnesota. But I'm not it's Jameis.
Yeah.
He's in the building and it's really weird.
We're from Minnesota.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were born here. I did that once. Got born.
Boy.
We're all Minnesotans.
It was all right.
in
Oh,
heart.
Boy. We're not going to restart this episode over, guys. We've done that before. That bit's done. Let's just keep
We
going.
only get
okay?
one shot.
Last week, Expert Andy was not with us, so we had to replace him with the Olympian Eric Idle, which was really cool. Sorry, Expert Andy,
Yeah.
that you didn't get to
I
meet
listened
him.
to the episode. I didn't know who that guy was either.
Fuck
Yeah.
no. He came in acting like we should know who he is, but
He certainly did.
who knows pole vaulters?
He was-
Who knows
Never heard of
Olympian pole vaulters? You know, like
He was funny.
We never
though.
get the Olympian answers when you question us about them.
so. If you missed it,
He did a good job of presenting himself as someone who
Yeah.
thought they were.
I'd have
someone.
him back.
yeah. I think I would have him back. If you, audience member, missed Olympian Eric Idle, make sure to listen to the podcast or the episode right before this one. And we're not going to speak of it again. Expert Andy's back. Went over that. By the way, this week came up really quickly, and I did not prepare myself at all for this episode. Because
No.
You
What do you
made
mean?
the notes.
I made the notes.
You prepared me for this episode.
But I didn't prepare for the. Wait a minute. Yeah, I know.
Thanks, dude.
I didn't prepare for
Prepared
the
dinner
episode.
for this episode.
I made. Okay. What did we do this past week? Okay, that's the next part of this episode, which I did not prepare for.
What did we do?
What did we
last
do?
week?
Oh man, we should have a jingle like that.
I just made it up. That's our jingle. What did we do last week?
Try it again without C-Dubs interrupting you. Okay. Oh man, we almost had it. We almost had like that sound bit that you can just take out of an episode and just be like, "Yo, we worked really hard on this."
Yeah. Do. No, I missed it.
Well, we missed
See,
it.
I
We
was
missed the
not
boat.
that time.
Yeah. Nah, we'll
Do. What did we do this past week?
no, dude.
There's no past
We'll
there.
record it proper with some reverb.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. This is the type of podcast that we talk about things about doing them, and we don't do them in the future.
Nah, we totally do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
This is not a
We're just pork
podcast.
chopping
Yeah.
this.
This is not a podcast about pork chops.
If we did in the future, like time is cyclical, so we've done it.
Okay, what did we do this last week, James? It seems like you want to talk, so
Oh, man,
we'll start with you.
I hung out with my kid, played some video games. Other than that, I've been trying to take a mecation.
A mecation.
Yeah, it's like a staycation, but you just like hang out in your own head.
Do you take your Nintendo Mii with you on this mecation?
No, but sometimes I imagine like new ideas for me's that I gotta create. You know,
They're involved.
There are times where it's just like you get in that me creator, and I'm just like, man, God is speaking through me.
Okay.
You understand they're not real people.
Splinter.
How dare you?
Not yet.
Splinter, talking about real people, what did you do this last week? How 2 weeks? You have 2 weeks to catch up on. What's going on, bro?
Well, I'm one, and I did people things. I went to a baseball game.
Oh, you did.
Human activity.
I did. It was really crowded though. I was a little.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
How was okay?
I
So
must
how was
say.
your experience with the? You went to a Twins game, right?
Yeah. Well,
was it full capacity?
The team lost.
Is it full capacity yet?
No.
No.
But it seemed like it was. It was busier than I wouldn't think they'd sell any more tickets than that with their record right now, I guess.
Okay, so it was
It was
like
rather
You're
full.
saying they outperformed in ticket sales?
It seemed like it. They've definitely upped them.
and it definitely seemed like more people than you actually expected. Is basically what you're saying.
Well, see, I think the thing is we were basically on the concourse for the most of the game.
What's a concourse?
Oh,
Concourse is, if you're not familiar with Target Field, for the listeners out there, so you can walk around the entire field and watch the game from anywhere.
Oh,
And that's why I'm expert Andy.
C-Dubs, how was your last week?
It was good. I had got our group together with you and everyone, watched Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working, back to work, so
How's
You
work
know.
going for you? How was
it's
that?
good. It's a holiday today, so I got paid a lot to go to work.
Well, that's nice. You making sure when you go to work that you hydrate? Because that's important. That's really important. Are you making sure that you,
On the desert out there.
especially in a warehouse, you know?
Yeah.
Do you
And
make
I
sure
wear a
to
coat all day.
do you make sure to what did you say?
I wear a coat all day because I have tattoos. I have to cover them.
Oh yeah, so then you definitely need to hydrate.
Yeah, I have
And-
a water bottle I carry around with me
good.
everywhere.
That's good. Do you make sure do you eat a healthy breakfast before you go, or at least eat some lunch during work? Do you feed yourself while you're working?
I
Put a little bar in your
You
pocket.
know where I'm
maybe.
going with this yet? You know where I'm going with this yet? So you're feeding yourself? That's good.
would you like someone to cook you
So
dinner?
he's hydrating. He's feeding himself. Another good thing to do at work. Do you wear the proper attire, like shoes? Are you wearing the proper shoes? Because, like, if you're on your feet all the time and you're on concrete in a warehouse, you better be wearing your proper shoes. Otherwise,
Maybe some inserts.
some inserts, maybe some, like,
I bet-
socks. I bet you're wearing shoes. Are you putting socks on?
I wear shoes, yes.
Proper.
Is this
But
a sponsorship?
I might have
Nope.
worn the wrong pair of socks this week, and
Oh.
my feet are in horrible, horrible condition.
Tell the audience what happened.
Yeah, I wore a pair of rough, scratchy socks.
Not
and
just
my
scratchy
basketball
socks.
shoes.
And, did you hear that?
They
guys?
were
Basketball
compression
shoes?
scratchy socks.
He
And
wore
I had
he wore compression socks with basketball shoes to work, where he's on his feet on concrete for 8 hours a day.
Why are you making him relive the misery?
I think-
I feel like that came under duress. Tell us, Charlie. Tell us what you did.
Well, you know,
I've got to learn.
he's
I've
got to
got to
learn,
learn.
and I want my friends to be comfortable when they go to work, because work is already stressful. If he's not taking care of himself, who's going to take care of him? The corporation's not
You
looking
are.
after him. Yeah,
You're gonna take care of me.
yeah, I got
Aren't
you,
you
bud.
gonna come out here and take care of me when I can't work?
I got you, bud. I got you. But
Oh, see?
so you brought up that double. Sorry to put you on the spot there, bud. I'm so sorry. I just
It's all good.
thought that, audience, make sure you wear, because what happened? You got blisters on your feet, right?
Yes, I have blisters.
And that's not good.
Get yourself a foot basin.
Hmm?
Get yourself a
I
foot
got
basin.
one.
A foot
Yeah, when
basin.
you can have.
Yeah, well, that would work.
Yeah, everyone. Go get one.
You brought up that we watched Double or Nothing, and that's
Yeah.
the first topic we're gonna get into. Woo! Oh, that was not the right sound.
FuzzJockRadio.
There we go. That's a good one. Double or Nothing was the AEW's basically their WrestleMania of their wrestling world.
Was it competing with
start-
WrestleMania? Like, when does WrestleMania happen?
WrestleMania
WrestleMania
happens,
happened 2 months ago.
Oh,
Last
so
time.
not in direct competition, but in comparison,
Sure.
it would be like
Yeah.
their WrestleMania to WWE's WrestleMania. Their Double or Nothing
Double or Nothing would be their WrestleMania.
is their big pay-per-view event, right?
I don't know if they'd ever say that, because they don't want to compare themselves to.
No, they don't want to compare them,
No,
but it's the
you're right.
one that they really like. They go out for this, Stadium Stampede twice. I mean, that is the biggest, craziest match of all time. They've done it for only 2 Double or Nothings, and they'll probably never do it again.
Yeah, I thought this last Stadium Stampede was a little it wasn't as fun as the first one. Just because, because we had no idea what was going to happen in the first Stadium Stampede. When they say Stadium Stampede the first time,
They
you're like,
released the bulls.
What the hell are they going
Right.
to do, right? Yeah, they released the bulls, which are golf carts. And,
True.
I don't know if I've seen the first one all the way through from the beginning. So coming from the outside, I thought it was really funny.
yeah, you liked
I
it?
laughed out loud. I thought MJF was great.
Yes.
MJF was great. And didn't you say, C-Dubs, that MJF was he mentioned before that there was going to be no jokes in this. They're not going to pull any jokes. And
MJF cut a promo saying that they wouldn't have time for comedy in this one because it was serious and this is war and all these things. And then, of course, the person who makes the most jokes in the entire thing, the guy who's the biggest clown of them all, is MJF the whole time, which was just fabulous.
yeah, it was really
Him and Jericho were hilarious.
Yeah, they were great.
Ooh.
And then they even had the NFL coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars in one of the scenes.
That was really neat.
Yep.
And then they had, I'm going to
Raise the roof.
say this right now, because they had a couple secret characters show up, but we're not going to say them because we don't want to provide any spoilers. We're not going to be a podcast that provides spoilers for AEW events.
No.
Yes. And okay, so the reason behind this too is that yes, the matches did happen, and you can just look it up to see who won or where the guest appearances or like the new special guests or whatever. I don't know what you want to call them, but it's different than like a baseball game. A baseball game, you can talk about the game and say what the end score was after the game because there's going to be a next game next.
Yeah.
With AEW type of stuff,
there's a narrative.
There's a narrative storyline. There's more of watching The Sopranos or something and being like, I don't want it. I want to experience that storyline myself and not be spoiled by it. There's spoilers in AEW. There aren't spoilers in regular sports. Does that make sense?
Got it.
So from here on out,
so when we talk about how our predictions went later on, we'll just say I felt really good about them.
Yep.
And I had a good time.
Yep. Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Or they didn't go too well overall.
So
that way.
I like that. I like that idea. C-dubs?
I was gonna say my predictions. I at least will say I was never happier to be wrong with all the ones I got wrong. They were all great to go the other way.
But
well, that's good. That's a good thing to say.
We also can say stuff like the 3-way match between Kenny Omega, Mr. Pockets, and the Bastard. Fucking
Mr.
awesome.
Pac.
We're not gonna
blew my pants off.
That was an amazing wrestling event. We just watched it right before the show. What did you think there, J-Mas?
Yeah, we were watching it, just like counting down the minutes before the show started. We were rewatching it.
Yeah, it had some good action, and also, I don't know. Every time I catch AEW or catch clips, I'm always laughing, in a good way, where it's got like the right amount of campiness, and in a lot of ways done subtly enough. I don't know. It's tasteful and enjoyable. Like. It's fun. If you ever used to like wrestling and then didn't watch wrestling for a while, like, watch some AEW. It's pretty cool.
And a good wrestler to embody that was Sting. Is Sting. Sting is back. He wrestled in live performance, and he did great, and also made J-Maz laugh when he did a Stinger splash off the stage. He jumped off the stage.
62 years old.
Did a Stinger splash. 60 years old, live in front of people. Like amazing. You got to see it. It's got to watch TV. Absolutely is. Sheeta and the Doctor didn't disappoint.
No. That's one of the. I mean, as far as women's matches go in AEW, that's one of the top matches they've ever had.
Absolutely agree.
And if you think about it, that means Britt's got 2 of the top 5 for sure.
Yep. That one, and then the blood match where she got all bloody. The blood match versus Thunder Rosa.
That's the other one I would say. Those are 2 of the top 5 for sure, and she's in both of those.
Yep.
Another thing
another fantastic women's match. In the pre-show.
The pre-show, absolutely. The Rio versus Serena Deebs for the NWA title belt.
Yep. That one.
Go ahead.
The crowd really got into it. It was fantastic. I was really impressed with Serena Deeb working as a heel in that one, because I don't know if she's really done that as much before, but it was fantastic.
And she did. And what was really neat was that the crowd picked up on it. Like they first were cheering for her, and then she did like you could tell that she's like, oh shit, I'm getting the wrong reaction from the crowd, and did some heelish shit, like scraped the eyes or something. It was just some quick move that, or it was like only a heel move, and the crowd's like, oh shit, she's a heel in this. Okay, we're gonna boo, and it was a great turnaround, because like just like the audience, I felt the same, like, who do I cheer for in this match? Is it Rio or Serena Deebs? Well, it makes sense that Serena's the bad guy because she's from the NWA. She's from a different organization, right? Yeah, exactly. I had the thought that that match should have been actually in the pay-per-view, because the Cody Rhodes match in my mind versus a go-go was so bad that should have been the pre-show match. What do you call that pre-show match?
I didn't see it.
The buy-in.
The buy-in.
The buy-in.
The buy-in match. Good you didn't see it because I don't know. It was technically a good match. I just felt the storyline wasn't there. Cody Rhodes just seems to try too hard with his storylines in my mind, and that they just don't go anywhere, and they just don't make sense, and just
You weren't mad. You're
They
just
start from nowhere
disappointed.
and they go nowhere.
yeah, and it's
And
like
they just stop.
it's like, oh man, you're trying way too hard here, bud.
I will say the benefit of the Riho and Deebs match being so good and being in the buy-in is it probably could have helped them sell some more pay-per-views for a few people on the fence who maybe were like, shit, this is how good the buy-in is. Maybe I will buy this,
Right.
Because if
Oh,
I
the
saw,
buy-in.
I'll tell you this,
that's
if I
what
saw
that's
the
for.
Anthony Ogogo match and the Cody match as the buy-in, I might not want to buy the pay-per-view.
You're absolutely right.
That's what it means by buy-in. That's kind of like the
Yes.
match they want to showcase to tease people to get the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
But usually in wrestling, it's treated pretty like, here's just a match. But like this, I didn't actually see this one, but I've heard this is a really good one, and that's awesome. Like because WWE will sometimes do championship, but
And they usually
not-
do it. Don't they usually do it in the pay-per-view with WWE? They call this the buy-in match, but it's actually part of the pay-per-view anyway.
basically, I think you can
Because
still
how-
watch it on YouTube, but
Okay.
it's part of the pay-per-view
Because
anyway.
what they do with this match, I don't know how WWE does it, but like with AEW, each pay-per-view they have 1 or 2 matches free on YouTube. On YouTube, so you just go to YouTube and watch it, and then you're like, oh shit, I should go to Bleacher Report Live and buy the. Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
You get the free version, the demo version.
This is what it's supposed to be about. Yeah.
the trial.
Yeah, trial.
So how were our predictions on everything?
So good.
We split pretty good amounts of them. We did not get most of them right. We did not get most of them wrong.
Yeah, so that's a good wrestling. That's good wrestling, right? Yeah. That's a good wrestling.
That right
Oh,
there, that's
good.
good wrestling.
It's like you get a couple things right, a couple things wrong, and some crazy stuff that you didn't expect.
Yep.
All around fun.
Baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
And this time it's true. We have been winning baseball games. We are not the last place. We're not in last place anymore, guys.
It's fine.
It's great. Jameis's predictions are coming through.
Yeah. No,
It
you're
helps
seeing.
play the Orioles.
It does. It
Well-
does. You saw this, 2019 too, where they just hit the middle. It's about from here to All-Star break, where our schedule is just, cookies that Garlic's trying to get.
What's cookies mean?
I don't know. That's what the C-Dubs calls baby candy.
What's baby candy?
Baby candy, like the pitcher throws the easy pitch or whatever. Well, Dick Bremer calls it cookie.
Cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hanging
I
breaking
do
ball.
call it baby candy.
Baby candy.
Yes.
I'm
me
still
and
not
Lily
with
call
you
it
guys
that.
on this,
Yeah,
but I'll
it's
go with
fine,
it.
it's
I'll
fine.
go with it.
It's like hitting candy out of a baby's hand.
Yeah.
Well, that's mean.
That is
Yeah.
mean.
You wouldn't
Don't-
actually
don't-
hit a baby.
Don't take candy from babies, man. Like,
Well,
what the fuck?
I mean, some of them though they shouldn't have.
Did they get it from strangers?
Yeah, don't let them have that.
Because
Take
the
that-
candy from strangers is
take that
not
candy-
good. So
take that
definitely
candy
take
from
that
babies.
candy from babies.
Yes.
But
Well,
don't.
if the sugar content's too high, too, take that candy from babies.
But if it's
smack
regular,
that right
if it's like a regular cheat from their parent, don't take it from them
Yeah.
because then the parent will probably be mad,
Yeah.
and the kid will be probably crying.
Take candy from
and
parents.
You'll look like an asshole. So don't do it.
Yeah.
My children, we've usually the cake on their first birthday is their first sweets, and I think that's a good rule of thumb. And that's why I'm expert Andy.
The Orioles decided that they wanted to be the worst team in baseball, and we played them multiple times, and we won. We've currently have beaten the Baltimore Orioles now 16 consecutive times.
Whoa.
One away from Minnesota's franchise record against one opponent, which is 17 against Boston. So we need to win two more games against the Orioles, and they've done it. Like,
Good news.
What?
We have more
Good
games
news,
against the
everyone.
Orioles.
What's that? We have more games?
Yeah, right now.
We have more games. We can do this.
Dude, that's dope. No, the Orioles can do this. I'm excited for the Orioles.
The Orioles can do this. Well, the Orioles are also on they're on like a 17-game losing streak also.
Jesus Christ. That's
They are
crazy.
bad.
So they're not having a good time. But living by your logic of being historically awful,
Why not go for
they're
it?
having a great time.
Why not go for it? If you're already at
They're
the
beating
basement,
us.
they're beating us to it. I mean, last
That's okay. They can do. We'll root for them to
Last-
be bad.
last week we were talking about we're going to have this series of the basements, and they want to do it.
Yeah. No, you
We're
guys.
gonna do it.
You guys. It's almost like a few being at the bottom of the what do they call it?
The basement.
Yeah, being at the bottom in the basement, like, just made you guys forget that the Orioles exist. Almost, and that, like, oh, the Twins are doomed.
Yeah.
Doomed.
It was
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like that meme where it's Spider-Man pointing at himself,
Yeah.
and then the Twins realized that they were like, wait, that means we also are them. Oh no, we got to be better than this, and so they've put on their big boy pants.
Yeah,
and
they
now
were
they're better.
already. They were always better than that.
That, or teams are letting us win because they know that Donaldson has
So,
a list
a
of
hit list?
of pitchers that are cheating. Maybe that's what's going on. They're like, oh shit, you gotta put the Orioles against the Twins quick because Donaldson has a hit list.
We're gonna have like 30 more games against the
Twins
Orioles.
need to
You
win
watch.
here, so he doesn't put out those lists.
Thank God the schedule's already set to have them play the Orioles. Phew, we really lucked out.
Not to like toot our own horn here or anything, but my God, people must be listening to our podcast
We
because
scooped the shit out of this
100%.
2 weeks ago.
We brought this pitching scandal up about the substances being taken. No, they're not taking substances. They're using like
They're like-
rosin and
They're
shit.
lathering.
applied.
Taking them into their
They're
hands.
They're being applied to balls.
Substances.
Not to their balls, but to baseballs.
Yeah, it's slathering substances on baseballs.
Slathering substances on baseballs.
You can't even slather this stuff. They're gluing their hands to the baseballs.
Basically, you're right.
They're super gluing their hands to the baseballs and then whipping them.
Whipping them so they get that real awesome RPMs that makes the balls move all over the place. And we already talked about this 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Major networks are starting to talk about it now. I heard Dick Bramer from the Twins. Dick was talking about it on a Twins show yesterday. I heard him bringing it up. He's just like, it's just kind of strange that these good hitters like Donaldson is not hitting anymore. And, what if they're doing something to the ball? And the other announcer's like,
They are.
I'm not going to touch this with a 10-pole stick. Basically, he did not want to talk about it. It sounded like he was so like, Dick, like your job's secure, mine is not. That type of situation. He's like, I don't know. The players,
Probably an ex-player.
players. Oh, look, he just got a hit. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
But no, seriously though. And then, so what happened? Since last week, Donaldson said that he has a list. He's fucking pissed off because he's not hitting anything. He's not doing as good as he should be. I thought that he wasn't from the beginning. I'm just like, dude, what's going on? Then when we came up onto the scandal, somebody tweeted, this Dallas Braden tweeted, Joe West has backed his umpires and the league into a corner. He's going to make somebody enforce it or be damned. Or he's going to expose the lack of desire from MLB to want to enforce this, which isn't a secret. From there, shit either changes or we're going to see guys using Velcro. So
just use Velcro, guys.
I hate using the word hate because I don't really hate anything. That's a very, 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 very strong word to say that you hate somebody. And I don't hate Joe West. I was gonna say I hate Joe West just like everybody else. I don't, but Joe West is Joe West, right? Everybody has.
He's a polarizing figure.
Joe West is a very polarizing umpire, right?
Yeah, so send him to the North Pole.
However, he's bringing up this, hey, people shouldn't be cheating in baseball. We should do something about this. Josh Donaldson replied to that tweet. Crazy idea here, but I'm going to throw it out there. Stop cheating, right? And then Dallas comes back. Brother, we both know the difference between pine tar, rosin, sunscreen, and the other stuff that's been used today. The common denominator with all of those things is how, if, when, to, and whom they enforce it. It's horribly inconsistent at best. No precedent is the precedent. What's next? And that's the big reason why I think that they shouldn't be using these substances. If it's against the rules, it's against the rules, and nobody should use it. If you are, you get fined, right? There should be no that player is that player. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna look past that player because it's not fair for anybody.
Or if they're gonna let people use it, let everyone use it.
Then let everybody use it.
Maybe they can officially grandfather in Trevor Bauer because he exposed the thing. Just like they did with the spitballers. They can have 16 pitchers. They can use this stuff. How about that?
Yeah.
Or each team gets one pitcher.
Just like when they first banned it in the first place.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea.
They gotta do
what I
something
propose.
because Josh Donaldson replies to that one. I agree. I have an entire catalog of video of these guys cheating, and it's coming out.
He's got a hit list.
Bring her a rain.
I don't know. If it's a rule, enforce it. If it's not, then then make sure that everybody knows that it's okay to use Velcro when you're throwing a baseball, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
They should get Velcro gloves as well and put Velcro on the ball. That would be a really fun sport.
That would be, I don't know if that would work. Rocco also mentioned it. The effect that some of these things have apparently is monumental. Apparently, it changes the game in a big, big way. We have to go out there and play every day, compete, and also not make excuses or be paranoid anyway when we take the field. This is not a conversation the vast majority of the time. And that's just basically a coach's response. We can't make excuses for our poor play. We got to play our best. At the same time, I think that that shows that and if Donaldson's making a list, that the Twins are a team that are not cheating, and possibly a good reason why we're not doing as well as other teams. Your thoughts?
I think they're doing great.
I mean,
I know you think they're doing great.
I got the receipts.
You got the receipts.
Yeah.
well, we're making history.
For what?
Beating the Orioles.
Yeah.
Not just me. But we've scored the 2 millionth run in Major League Baseball history.
That's right.
Saturday, Josh Donaldson trotted home in the first inning on a ground rule double by Nelson Cruz against Kansas City, and it was the 2 millionth total run in Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball has now 2 millionth runs. They're giving it to Donaldson because they want to shut him up.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think so. I might have something to do with this.
Yeah.
Is there like $2 million involved?
No one counted,
$2 million
actually.
prize?
No one actually counted.
I watched that. I watched that. It was live. I watched it live. It was great.
Make some, give him like a reward, a prize to the 2 millionth run.
So currently the Rays are on top, 35-20. We got White Sox 33-21, Athletics 31-25. The Twins are all the way down 22-31, with the Tigers 22-32, tied up.
Yeah, I see a team that's 10.5 games out of first with, I don't know, like 100 games to go or something.
Mets 25 and 20.
What are you gonna do?
Cubs 30 and 23. Giants 34 and 20. I can't believe they played that many games already. That's just nuts. They play so many games.
It just seems comparatively to last year because we had the abridged season. Do you remember?
You could be right about that.
Do you remember?
You could be right
Do
about that.
you remember?
I don't remember much about last year.
No
Try
one
not
does.
to, you know?
Apparently. I'm probably the only one.
One thing I do remember is we need to throw out our sponsors. FuzzTalkShop.com is their one-stop shop for any Fuzz Talk Radio or FuzzJock Radio related gear, like T-shirts,
Get some socks,
hoodies, or socks, or leggings. That's FuzzTalkShop.com. That is currently our only sponsor because we don't have sponsors. We don't like to have advertisements on this program or any other Fuzz Talk Radio programs, just so you don't have to worry about our shit, other people's shit, interrupting your experience with our products. FuzzTalkShop.com, one-stop shop for your Fuzz Talk Radio gear. And then we also have other stop laughing. We have other shows on FuzzTalkRadio.com. Every Sunday is Dagger Radio from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. A bunch of punk rock, punk skate rock music, and great commentary by the one and only Dagger Chuck. And then Monday nights, of course, is FuzzJock Radio at 10:30 p.m. We also have every other Wednesday, Mankato to Motown, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Nate Rock Cato. Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. I don't know. 8 p.m. is the Rabbit Hole with Ryan and his brother. And it's a great time. A lot of great music and a lot of awesome commentary. And then on Friday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. we have the rebroadcast of the Ethan Cleric podcast show. So make sure to tune in to FuzzTalkRadio.com for any of your listening needs. We also run music 24 hours, 7 days a week. A bunch of local music, a bunch of music that has come through Mankato and others. And I'm going to just mute this here.
There we are.
Where are we here? My notes disappeared. I did not prepare for this.
Yeah.
FuzzJock Radio.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna
dunk
dunk
it!
it! Basketball, gimme the ball because
I'm gonna dunk it!
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna
Dunk it!
Dunk it!
Yeah.
Woo, basketball! The fans are out of
FuzzJock
control.
Radio.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, boy.
What's up with
Yeah.
the fans out of control? What's going on here?
So
What
Fuzzy,
did they do?
I know that we were just talking about how, maybe we should go back to fanless games because people are drunk and crazy and ridiculous. And
Was I
that's what we
saying
talked
that?
about last week?
Was I saying that?
We said that last week.
oh yeah,
with,
because there was
Mr. Eric.
there was just there was fans that were bugging me about during the baseball game, right? Was that
the
they're going
baseball
woo,
game.
woo, woo.
So in the basketball playoffs, there have been not one, not two, but 3 different incidences of people getting spit on, popcorn thrown at them, and a water bottle chucked at them.
Are you serious?
I heard about the water bottle.
Yeah. Water
That was
bottle
Kyrie
happened
Irving.
just last night, I believe.
What
Players
about the popcorn? That's
players are getting
the guy
hit
has
with
season
bottles.
tickets.
Yeah.
He's banned for life now.
Yep.
What?
And they might press charges against the guy who threw the bottle at the player.
While they were playing on the court? Was that when it
Yes.
happened? While playing on the court.
I don't know if it was during in between plays, right?
Why would they do this? Why?
'Cause they're ridiculous.
Because they're drunk and they're pissed off that their team's not winning.
They've got a lot of writing on this.
Petty.
So what are they doing?
The sports
Maybe we
betting
go
is
back to
legal
him.
in many states. I suppose you just don't know. People can have a lot of money.
Yeah. But it's pretty embarrassing. We get to have sports back and get to enjoy it, and people go act like this.
Yeah, that's
So.
really upsetting. I don't even know what to say about that because that's worse. That's worse than the wooing or making sounds to distract pitchers. You know, like
Oh yeah,
I suppose that's kind of part of baseball, right? You always have to deal with that audience. It's kind of shitty, but like whatever. Like there was a cowbell. That I saw a friend tweet about how a cowbell was ruining their experience with the game because somebody had a cowbell in the audience. But throwing physical items at players,
Imagine you're the player and it's like, man, I had to live in a bubble for months last year
for your entertainment.
Yeah, for you to watch this. Fuck off. And also, like, oh, what'd you have to do? Lie that you had a vaccine? Maybe have a mask with you sometimes? And you're gonna fucking throw a bottle at me? Like,
inexcusable. Just inexcusable. And
inexcusable.
That person that has season tickets absolutely should be banned for life.
And they should call their mother.
Absolutely. That's always a good question. Would your mother be happy with you?
Yeah. What does your mom think about that, buddy?
What does your mom think? Jesus.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Speaking of
that feeling about it.
Speaking of the playoffs, it sounded like the Minnesota Timberwolves had sent D'Angelo and Jalen Noel to game one of the playoffs so they can get the experience what it's like. Here I got an actual quote. To show them what it's like to play among a hectic playoff domain.
Domain
even.
Okay.
Dominion.
It wasn't because D'Angelo Russell's best buddy is playing for the Phoenix Suns?
Is his best buddy playing for the Phoenix Suns?
Yeah, who's his best buddy?
What are you talking about? What's going on here?
If it's not Karl Anthony Towns, it's Devin Booker.
Oh, that's right. That is absolutely right.
That's really nice. No, I think that's actually really nice because that means he got to check out the feeling of a playoff game, and he got to be happy for his friend
and
who
hang
was
out
playing in a game and get to watch him play well.
If they win,
if it would have been game one, yes.
Series is tied 2-2.
Won that game.
We don't know which game they went to.
This says to attend game one.
We know that it was game one. So, there you go. The facts are before our eyes.
Yeah. But, so, with the play, I was talking last week a lot about the NHL playoffs, but this week I wanted to talk a little bit about the competitiveness in the NBA playoffs because it's exactly what you want it to be again, just like the NHL was or is. These are some pretty good series. I mean,
most of these are tied.
Sure, the Knicks are a feel-good story, even though they're not doing that great. Everyone's really happy for them. Washington, no one ever thought anything was going to happen with them, but they've been at least fun to watch. The Philadelphia 76er games as well. So, but it has been ridiculous that the fans have been stupid. So, I don't.
A bunch of dumb fans.
Yeah. But
no, I'm seeing on the Western Conference, like all these are tied series 2-2.
Yeah. The Lakers, Dallas won all their games on the road. Then the Clippers won all their games on the road. So that was very intense for both cities.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
That's the best way to win.
Yeah. Win in enemy territory.
Yeah. That shows them.
Fun playoffs.
Yeah.
So, Timberwolves. You got any new news on the Timberwolves?
Well, are they staying or going is the question lately.
Yeah. Another one of those things that we talked about before everybody else was talking about, right? We brought up that it sounds like Kevin Garnett's going to be in with the new ownership, and that he wants to make sure to build up Minnesota, and he wants to keep the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. However, Alex Rodriguez absolutely sounds like he wants to take them out to Seattle. And we've been talking about this, right? We for the last couple weeks. And now just recently the major news players once again have been scooping our stories and been like, "Yo, what happens if Garnett is actually part of this?" It's great. I love it.
It just goes to show you if you want to be on the front line of the sports talk radio, you should be listening to your premier sports talk radio show, FuzzJockRadio. Every Monday.
FuzzJockRadio.
Like that.
Premier sports listeners and watchers of all the sports things and stuffs.
Yep. That's us.
On the cutting edge.
We are, and it's all right. I'm not tooting my own horn here. I just guys,
honk, honk.
I'm just noticing this. That we bring up some news topics.
Oh, just
weeks before.
Oh man, I feel like this has been a trend in every season.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow we're always just noticing it though.
Yeah, well,
just noticing.
Yeah.
However, now that we're
tooting our horn,
now that
basically.
You know what?
Because we're awesome.
I don't think we should do this anymore because I think we're
toot horns.
No,
we should start a ska band.
I don't know about that.
No.
Too late.
Sticking with basketball and WNBA. We since the beginning have kept WNBA in our topics. Once again, I just listened to a sports radio show that had not to name names or anything, but the dude was taking over for another dude that normally is the host, and the co-host took over on Friday, and he's like, you know what? I want to talk about NBA because nobody ever talks about the WNBA. I'm just sitting there listening, and I'm like, well, we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. And okay, I don't. With the WNBA, they have been on top of the social reform. Is that the right way to say that? Is that the right thing to say? They're on
Police reform.
Police reform.
Police reform. They
social justice.
Social justice reform. They've been on they've been at the forefront of social justice reform. Not just recently, but since Philip Castile, who had been shot and killed by police in the Twin Cities area way back in 2016 already. And the Lynx were at the forefront of that. They're talking about it, bringing up the topics, using their platform for what people of celebrity status and professional athlete status should be using their platform for. However, they're pretty much the only ones around. Fast forward, a year ago, last Tuesday, George Floyd was lynched by the police, Minneapolis police. Mm-hmm. And once again, the WNBA and the Lynx, and now with the NBA, they're right at the forefront again. And I have a quote by Cheryl Reeves that we're always in a mindset of holding people accountable for decisions or the lack of decisions. I think there is even more. There is police reform, which is very real, but then I think there is also impacting our communities, bringing to light for our communities the systematic inequalities, and the larger corporations that we partner with can play a role in maybe increasing awareness for where money needs to be put to improve the lives for all of us. This is not just for communities of color. It's a situation that we're all affected by. So that's the most meaningful work that we can do. I think we can do that locally in our communities, which we do all the time as sports teams, but I think taking a deeper dive and more intentional efforts like we're doing with Minneapolis Foundation, and continuing to educate ourselves on what's the next thing. What are we learning about that needs changing? And when we hear something that we know needs real reform, we've got to talk about it, bring it to light, and help people understand exactly what's happening in the communities. And I just want to commend the WNBA for always being there and making us question what's going on, what's normal, what's not normal, what do we need to change, you know? You hear all these other celebrities, all these other people with a higher platform than just regular people, just stepping aside and not doing anything, and it's great.
People notice. We notice.
So moving along,
The Lynx, they won.
yes. So the Lynx, they won their first game.
Yeah,
Let's say it like that. Just say it like that. They won their first game.
we've done it.
And it's great. You got to win your first. You got to win one at least, right? They're currently in 11th place, so they're not the last. Seattle Storm's number 1. And then I don't have the. Oh, I didn't look this up. I don't have their wins and losses, so I don't know how far away they are from. They're not that far off from being number 1 because
There's a lot going on.
they just started their
They're
games.
doing a lot of great work.
I never looked into seeing why the other teams have more games than us, but we'll look into that next week.
I do know they should have a game coming up, I believe, on Facebook. So for those of you who've never checked out a Lynx game, there should be one coming up, I believe, June 4th. You should just be able to watch it right there.
Cool. Yesterday's game, they won 79-74 against the Connecticut Sun, which was the number 2 in the rankings. So that's awesome.
There you go. No slouch.
Let's see here.
Coming up, Millhouse.
We had some good shooting. 60% from 3-point line with Demarius Dantes. I can't pronounce names. Crystal Dangerfield was 18. No, had 18 minutes. 2 of 8 field goals, 9 of 14 for Sylvia Fowles. 64%.
100% of 3-pointers.
And yeah, so
That's really good.
their next game is June 4th on the Facebook game, which C-Dubs mentioned, against Atlanta Dream. June 6th on Valley Sports North against Atlanta Dream again. And then June 8th, Washington Mystics on Twitter, NBC Sports and in Washington.
Check it out.
What is slashing?
Slashing is like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that we were on the forefront of news, we've been talking about it for a long time, is that the Wild was not going to... No.
Yeah.
The Wild, unfortunately, lost in playoffs. We did not predict that. We did not talk.
We predicted they were going to win the whole thing.
We thought they were going to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? That's the only prediction to make.
So,
Go Islanders.
Yeah.
let's talk about this.
Cleared
though.
my schedule.
They 7-game playoffs, right?
Yeah. The Wild went to Game 7. So it was...
We forced a Game 7, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
Hold on. We didn't just force a Game 7. We also forced a Game 6. And we forced a Game 5.
Yeah, that's true.
We were down in... No, we can't force a Game 5 because you have to have 5 games in a 7-game series.
We were down 3-1.
We were down. That's
You
what I'm
only
trying to
need-
get at. You guys just try to
You almost-
scoot
you go
past
for
right
the-
that. You just try to scoot right past that.
Yeah.
You're right.
They were down.
We had our back.
They were down 3-1.
They're going for the reverse 3-0. 4-0.
I don't know what that means.
Well, that's when you're down and then you sweep it after you're down.
The reverse 3-0.
No, I meant 4-0.
Backdoor sweep.
Yeah, backdoor sweep. That's what some people call it, I guess. I don't know. Have you ever heard that, backdoor sweep?
He's
No?
asking
I don't
you
know if
guys. He's asking you guys.
I mean, of course that's what that is. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you were setting that sound bit up.
No.
The Vegas moved on. At least what I was trying to get at here too. At least we weren't like the St. Louis and lost 4 games to 0, or like the Oilers who lost 4 to 0.
Mm-hmm.
It could happen.
We won 3 of those games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there
we
we
looked
go.
good.
We
I
looked
have a
good.
lot. I have a lot of hope for the next season.
Well, next season we were just going to deal with the new kids and not worry about the old people anymore.
New
right?
kids on the
Maybe.
block. That's what I'm.
Are you ready for some football?
Oh, football time.
Monday night party.
What are we
You're
looking
in
forward
hell.
to? You're looking forward to a Monday night football party? Is that what you're looking forward to, Splinter? You're gonna come down.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
You should take a day off one of these days from parenting and just come down to Mankato for a football party and then
Monday night football party,
and then
we can do the
live
show
broadcast.
live
Yeah,
someday.
yeah, you should do that. You got enough
That'd
time.
be something.
You got enough time.
Yeah.
C-Dubs, what are you looking forward to in the new football season?
I'm looking forward to all the drama that's still going on between Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. So the day after we had our episode,
Hold on.
and
We haven't asked James what he's looking forward to.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm looking forward to. All
Drama.
the dysfunction in Green Bay.
Well, now that I know that you have a little bit, I didn't prepare for this, so I'm sorry. But now we know what you want to talk about, so we'll get back to you.
Yep.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
James?
Well, E3 is coming up soon.
Yeah, it is.
Looking forward to that.
What are you looking forward to E3 in?
Oops. E3? Oh, probably just Nintendo stuff.
Wait a minute. Is there a new football game coming out? For the
Maybe.
Nintendo?
I don't know. There's usually one of those every year, right?
Okay. So
Probably a football game. coming
drama.
out.
There's a lot of drama.
Oh yeah.
We've been talking about the Aaron Rodgers drama.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
So
What's going on?
the day after we reported that he did not show up to camp or OTAs or whatever, he didn't show up. The next day, the wide receivers didn't show up.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So then the backup quarterback, Jordan Love, who is supposed to replace Aaron Rodgers, had to play with a team of makeshift wide receivers, like tight ends and a bunch of running backs playing wide receiver and having to run routes they're not used to running because the rest of them didn't show up.
So Rodgers
Total debacle.
So Rodgers created a strike. That would be a player strike, wouldn't it?
I think they didn't want to cross the picket line. I think Rodgers is on strike and they're not crossing the picket
100%.
line.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
on
Yeah.
strike with it.
Yeah.
What is happening in Green Bay?
He created he created his
happened to
own
be the
coup.
owner.
It's a coup? Is that what you call that?
No.
Cool.
Because people are throwing that word around a lot.
Yeah, so we don't have to. And just
I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't-
We're not political. This is not a political podcast. Remember. So union. He created his own union. Is it a union? Do they got a union? The Rodgers union?
Well,
What's going on?
I will also
Do you have more insight?
Okay,
on this? What's going on here?
Where does
Like,
Jeopardy factor in anymore? I mean, is that
I
still
was
on the
just gonna
table?
bring
That's
that
the
up.
question.
Jeopardy also, he's only the second highest rated of the hosts they've had in the ratings. He's only got the second highest rating, so he probably is not going to get it because that's not good enough. He needs to be the highest rated.
Who's going to be the
host.
highest rated host then for Jeopardy? You're bringing up
The
so many
guy-
questions here, C-Dubs.
It's probably Terry Crews.
Yeah, oh, I got him. I got the answers for you. It's going to be. I believe it's. What's his name? The guy who won.
Ken Jennings.
Yes, him. He probably will end up being the host of Jeopardy.
What does that mean? The guy who won?
Winner make first face.
He was a very strong champion for a long time.
Ken Jennings, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Ken Jennings.
Okay. So Rodgers is
He's
on
probably
strike.
gonna get it.
The
The
Black-
Rodgers backup plan is out the window.
But his backup plan's out the window. So what? Like he doesn't have any Does he have anything else, like any other cards up his sleeve to be like, I got this other gig, another gig? Like what? Like he can't use that gig now, right? You know what I'm saying here? Like
Yeah,
he has no
What's
clout.
what's
He has
his
no
end game?
clout now.
He's just being a rich guy, not honoring a contract.
That
He has
too.
wide receivers.
He's just getting fined all over the place.
Yeah.
Who does he think he is?
He's just being a rich guy that doesn't care about his contract. He can pay fines.
He's
I
not going to
think-
be able to win anything by himself if he doesn't have a defense and an offensive line.
Do you
Yeah, it
think?
doesn't matter.
I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
Do
care.
you think that our pastor boy Kirk Cousins would do that type of thing?
Mm-mm.
Oh God, I wish you would.
He would do anything if the voices in his head told him to.
Exactly.
Well, you know, it was confirmed that the Vikings traded up to, that they they didn't trade up, but they offered Carolina their first number 14, a 3rd round pick, and a 4th round pick to move up 6 spots to number 8, so they could pick up Justin Fields, who's a quarterback. And this happened before. Like somebody on the team obviously does not want Kurt around anymore. They tried to trade up to get Justin Fields, and they did this before.
Well, Kirk's not going to be around forever. He's only got 2 to 3 more years, right?
Imagine if Kurt heard that was going on and he acted like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. He could, but he's not gonna, because the voices in his head don't tell him to act that way.
He absolutely could. He absolutely could, because he has the stats. And a lot of people are going to say that they're not garbage stats, Jameis.
Yeah, at the same time, he doesn't have the bank account that Aaron Rodgers does to not care about anything. I could pay fines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rodgers
the
has a lot
tithing,
of
the tithing
endorsements.
has gotten to him.
Their bank accounts are very considerably different.
I think it's a lot to do with Rodgers just wishing that he had as many Super Bowls as Brady.
And you know what that sound means? We are into FuzzJock Radio time. No, what?
What?
Fuzzy.
It's the beginning of the
Fuzzy Memory.
show. Let's start.
We're not restarting the show, Jameis. I know you want to so
You said
bad.
we couldn't.
No, this is not the practice episode. This is not practice
No,
time. This has actually been live this whole time.
Takes us all that time to
Oh.
warm up. Now let's do
Live?
the show.
Yeah, this is a live episode, guys. This is not practice.
I don't know what I just said.
But yeah, this is a fuzzy memory trivia time. This is when I ask the guys some questions and the guys answer the questions that I asked them. Hopefully with the correct answers, because then they get points. If they don't answer it with the right question, they don't get points. It's ones and zeros. It's easy peasy. Let's see here.
We don't answer the right question, so you're gonna give us all the questions. You throw them out there.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm just gonna
We
throw it out there.
have a list of answers. If we give the answer to the right question,
There's gonna be questions, and you're gonna give me answers. Okay? And if it's the right answer, you get a point. Does anybody remember what the point total was?
Like
I'm just gonna keep saying it's 3-2.
4 to 3 to 2.
Eric Idle got me a point
4 to-
last week.
4
What
to
was he trying
3
give
to
me?
3.
The Olympian.
I've been known to get points from time to time.
C-Dubs, I thought you were the point tracker.
Well, I think I have 3, and James has 3, and the guests have 4.
That sounds right.
Okay, let's go with
I
that.
think that's right.
C-Dubs,
Yes.
what year was Jackie Robinson's final MLB season with the Brooklyn Dodgers?
1958.
Incorrect. 1956. James,
Whoa.
what number uniform did Ray Allen wear for the Sonics?
Ray Allen on the Sonics wore number 11.
Incorrect. Number 34.
Yeah, I knew that.
Splinter. Who was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders for just one season in 2011?
John Gruden.
Incorrect. Hugh Jackson. C-dubs. Which NHL team celebrated their 40th anniversary during the 2010-11 season?
St. Louis Blues.
Incorrect. Buffalo Sabres. James.
Yes.
Ty Conte said her first wrestler she met was?
This is Roddy Piper.
Incorrect. Mark Henry.
Ooh.
Splinter.
That's debatable.
What kind of grass is traditionally used in Wimbledon? Incorrect.
I feel like you've asked me this question before.
I did.
Yeah.
Ryegrass.
Yeah.
Ryegrass. And that is the
Why
end.
would you ask me that question, you jerk?
That is the end of
'Cause you
Fuzzy
never
Memory
learn.
Trivia, where we ask questions, sometimes multiple times.
Until you figure it out.
Right. I'm writing it down.
That brings
Rye
us
bread. Rye bread. Get rye bread.
That brings us to the last, the end of
Wimbledon rye.
That
Eating
brings
more
us.
rye bread at Wimbledon.
I'm trying to wrap up the episode, expert Andy. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's the end of the episode. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was a little mean there. I didn't mean to be so mean.
You appalled the audience.
Okay. So we went through intros.
Yeah. Now we do it. Now we do our
Outros.
our outros.
Now we do outros. So we talked about the NBA and we talked about AEW. We talked about WNBA. We talked about NHL. We talked about NFL. Do any of you guys have another topic you want to talk about real quick? Do you have anything else? Do you have something there, James? No? Okay. Splinter? No? Splinter? No?
I like video games.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
Those are cool.
yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Video games are nice.
I've been working on video games.
What
Again.
game?
Oxygen not included. But C-dubs, what do you
Not
got
a video
going
game
on?
podcast.
What do you got going on the rest of the week? What do you got going on?
Well,
What's up?
as we prepare for our big brand reopening here in California on the 15th,
What does that
means
mean?
Dodger Stadium is going to go back to full
Full capacity? Hey.
Yeah, full capacity. So I have to prep the stadium for that. So that's what I got. I got a lot of work ahead of me.
Cool.
It's probably a very multifaceted project.
Splinter.
Very much so.
Splinter, what do you got
Yes.
going on this next week?
This week, let's see. It's my daughter's birthday this next weekend.
Well, happy birthday to Expert Andy's daughter.
Very excited about that.
What age? What are they
So
turning?
we got a. I hope she doesn't listen to the podcast, but we got her a roller coaster. It's a little push along
Holy
roller coaster.
crap.
It just goes over a small hump, but that's gonna be.
Those are
ride.
huge.
Yeah.
Like you put in this in your backyard or something. Like did you
it's
buy
kind
the
of
next door?
like a
Did you buy the next door
full-size roller
neighbors?
coaster. It's like probably 12 feet long.
Yeah, it can fit in like a long living room or a hallway or
It can
something.
sit behind you.
Yeah,
Jesus,
kids love it.
that's cool. That's really cool.
I should build myself a roller coaster in the backyard.
Yes,
I'd
you
be into
should.
that.
Why not?
That's why I'm
There's
expert. People have done this.
Buy the next door neighbor's property too and extend it. Go all the way out to the neighbors. James, what do you got going on this next week? You got anything going on, or are you just gonna like play video games and hang out with your son all week?
Well, most of the time it's I'll wake up and then my son decides what I'm doing for the day.
Oh, what do you think he's gonna decide for you this week?
I don't know. He's gonna suggest like some video games, some go play with friends. Probably eating some mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese is great.
Yeah, it's pretty popular.
I had that thought today. Do I let my children dictate what they do more than I should?
It's
Are
pretty.
they raising themselves?
Yeah.
They reason themselves.
It's probably fine.
I can't.
Who's the boss here? Who's the boss here?
I can't speak for you guys at all because I'm not a parent. Maybe
This is not a parenting
it's
podcast.
not a
by any
parenting
means.
podcast. Jeez,
No, this is an Earthbound podcast here to give you the best tips on how to break the speed record for
No, it's
Earthbound.
not.
Earthbound.
This is
I thought that's what this was.
This is a future podcast where we talk about future things happening in sports, and then the
Yeah, pretty much.
We talk about what you're going to do in the future. Fuzzy, what are you going to do next week?
What am I going to do this next week? I am going to try to find my niceness again, and I was thinking about this before while you guys were talking about your stuff, because I've been mean all podcast, and I apologize, guys. I don't mean to be mean to you. You hosts, you Hess, you friends of mine. I apologize. And this next week, I'm gonna try to find my niceness again.
Now the dangerous Nelson Cruz.
That one is hit hard to left. That ball's back, and there's your grand slam. Nelson Cruz connects